Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's design challenge we're going to be looking at that personal hygiene that we do every morning and night. You guessed it, we're designing toothbrushes. Ergonomic to perfection so that it's comfortable grip and maybe even some extra additional features as well. In this episode you're going to need a sheet of A4 paper, an HB pencil, and if you've got one, an eraser. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are with our design toothbrush paper. We're going to start off with our HB pencil and we're just going to start sketching out some straight lines. So let's get this like that. And then I'm probably going to put a little cylinder on the bottom there, and I'll put a little end, like a little curve around here like that. And then from here we're going to drop in the bristles. Now the bristles are essentially like a rectangle. So imagine a little rectangle there. If you can, try and make it 3D. Like this. So I'm sort of doing it like a little isometric drawing there. And then I think all we have to do then really is just sort of loosely draw some lines up and down like that. And across the top, little circles to give the impression that we have those bristles. Right, now the design part is going to be quite exciting. So I would imagine that on a page like this we'll end up doing maybe 3, possibly 4 different design ideas. Especially if we're doing it for a client. If you're doing it for a client, they want to see a variety of different designs. They don't just want to see your final idea. They want to see that you can come up with lots of different ideas and maybe develop two of those a bit further. So I'd like a nice round shape here on the neck part, and then I might want to curve this back so my thumb can sit in there nice and comfortably, and then I might rib that as well, and this bit can come out here so my palm of my hand, so this part can like really wrap around it and grip it, and my thumb can go underneath so when I'm brushing. I might bring this up here like this. And then I quite like this angle shape here, so I'm going to pop that in there. I'm going to move all the way back here and just have a little curve across the top there, like that. And what I can do to make it look 3D is I'm just going to bring this down, so I'm just, from that line there, I'm just coming down in a curve like that. And then it looks like I've got a little bit of 3D shape there. It doesn't have to go anywhere either, I can just end it there, and it just sort of disappears into the brush. I might just need to bring this down a little bit more, like that. And then I can come back over and put these a little bit more over here. That's just more into this space there. So there we go, there's our first little idea. Put some little circles in there. And then I'm just going to put a little design in here as well. So maybe that's these 2 little sections there, a little flavour of colour perhaps. Okay, so there's idea number 1. Fairly good. It's done in about 2 or 3 minutes, so these are quite quick sketches. And again, I'm going to do that same process again. I'm going to start off by drawing my straight lines, nice and faint to begin with. Put my little box on. That's where the bristles are going to live. Little squiggles there to suggest that they are circle parts. This one might be a little bit more boxy, I think. And maybe this one curves right around like that. So I'm going to curve this, and then it's got this big arch to it. Let's curve that right over like that. And again, imagine that's the thickness area. This is where the shade can go. I'm going to come back around this side here. I'm just going to follow this line a little bit more now and just end up back in this head here. And then something like that. There we go. So there's another idea there. I could curve that round. Lovely. So, like I said before, when we're trying to present to our clients, we're trying to create a range of different ideas for them to have a look at. So I'll keep with this little tiger stripe theme. There we go. And I've got enough room over here. I'll put one over this side now. And then this time, might make it more like an oval. Like that. And then, again, I could those straight lines like this. And then I might go underneath, a little space for my thumb grip again, a little space for each of the fingers maybe. Just curve that over like that to give that like a flat base, flat bottom. And then go over the top like this and just drop down where the neck is, just a little bit, like that. So there we go. Nice little grip that go underneath then. And as for those stripes, well, I suppose I could put them there, there, and there. Well, that looks more like grooves now, but it's quite good. Quite like it. Okay, so there we have it. Our three little designs. Now, it might be that I've got some loose space over here, and I've got some loose space over here, and because it's a design page, we want to fill the page with useful information. So it might be that I do the side view of one of the products. I might just show that I can detach parts maybe. So I might show one of the heads a little bit in a little bit more detail. So I might just do, you know, those ones where you get like a circle and then you get like a flat bit underneath. And if you don't, you'll know what I mean in a moment. I'll show you. So you have the circular bristles like this. I don't know if you have them in the middle or not, maybe. And then here you have another set of bristles like that, in like a row. And see how it's all two-dimensional at the moment, very simple shapes at this stage, and then just pull these back like that. And just maybe curve that round and pull those back as well. So just keep these lines parallel, like train tracks, keep them in line. Like that, and maybe suggest that curves around a bit more. I quite like what's going on there. So I might just curve that round. And again, I'm just pressing on quite hard with my HP, so I'm getting this dark line around the outside like that. And then this is just like the head, and then bring it around a little bit here to add some thickness. And I could even shade it in a little bit. Yeah, why not? Let's have fun with this. Let's have a little bit of shade, a little bit of shadow in there. And then maybe just curve this in a little bit to say, oh, okay, this is where it's going to connect to. This is where it's going to connect to the rest of the brush rather. And then push those back a little bit as well. There you go. So a little bit of a difference there, and you could maybe even put like a little fancy arrow in here like that to say it's coming from there. So that's going to go and join in that part. And as for down here, we could try and draw this shape, but just from a side view. So we've got that nice little angle there. Goes over like that, has a little lump in it, and then we stop just before we put the head on. And then we put that in there and copy it underneath. Now the reason I'm copying it is because I'm going to just put a different design on. So the shape's essentially going to be the same. Let's try and get that the same as the David. There we go. But this time I'm going to go for that kind of shape instead. So this is, again, another little arrow pointing to that. There we go. Just to show that there's different variety in sizes there. Okay, so we spent about 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes actually, just about 10 minutes doing these sketches, and we've got some really nice ideas there. Now, last thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of rendering to it. So I'm going to use a pencil crayon still, so I've got HP pencil selected. And I'm going to pick a colour. I feel blue's quite a good one, because blue seems to be associated with like dentistry and going to the dentist and stuff. And we're just going to add a little bit in here now, just finish these off. So I'm just going to shade in these sections here. Staying in between the lines, you know, making it neat. Presentation is key. Shading in one direction, not changing the direction, unless I'm cross-hatching. So, as an example of what looks like it's poorly shaded, if a lot of students shade like this, it looks awful. What you need to be doing when you're shading, if you can, turn the pencil on its side and you get a really nice soft shade like that. If not, there's another way you can shade, and that is just by going in the same direction like this. Now some students think, oh, okay, I've done that, but I'll lift all these white gaps everywhere. Well, if I go back over it again, I close those gaps. You see? And there's another way in which you can do it. So you can do, let's turn it on its side. You can shade like this, and then turn the angle round and shade the opposite way like that. And this is called cross-hatching. It's a very effective way of adding colour. So let's just double check what we've got here. We've got this one, which is a big no-no. This is a good shading technique, this is a good shading technique, and this is a good shading technique. So we've got on the side, we've got cross-hatching, and then we've just got diagonal. I don't know what that is, I don't know what you call that. No, that's just a mess. So, back to it, I'm going to come in here and add in my little shadow. Now you might see me going around the corners like this, like just going around the edges, that's fine, but then I shade in the same direction when I get to the middle. And that way I always make sure that my work's neat and it's in between the lines. So then I shade in that angle like that. And once you've practiced these techniques, you'll get better, and eventually you'll be able to add like gradients to them as well. And that'll make it look really nice and posh as well, really nice and good. Let's add a little bit of blue in there, like that. Maybe that's some kind of collar that you can put around it. And you know, let's add that in here. There you go, like that. Maybe this one's got one as well. There you go. Try and make it 3D if you can. This one will be a little bit different, so let's say this one's maybe just got like a little band there, and it's more boxy, this one, so let's have a boxy band like that. Okay, so I want to direct attention on this now, so I want to add some features in here that are going to make it pop, so it's going to really draw your eye. Now I'm going to use a complementary colour, so because I use blue, my complementary colour here is going to be orange. So I'm going to select a nice yummy orange, like this. There we go. Now I get the benefit of picking a bright orange. You just get to pick one out of your pencil crayon, but usually it's quite bright in there anyway. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all shade in my arrows and draw attention to the fact that I'm showing you something visually on the page. And that's why sometimes I go around the outside like that. And see how I shade in that one direction just to make sure that it's nice and neat. Fantastic. Okay, lovely. Okay. And then I'm also going to do this one as well. So just go around the edges to make sure I don't leave any white space. And then I can shade, 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 shade. Like that. Lovely. Right around the edge. Now I'm moving at quite a pace here. I'm shading quite quickly. Now you might need to take a little bit more time. Now these are set up as the 30-minute challenges. Now I'm going to hopefully get this closer to 15 than I am 30. And there you go. So now, really good graphic technique to make your designs pop off the page. You can either do this technique here, which is where we go around the outside with a colour, but you've got to try and make this neat, which is quite challenging. Like this. And this is a good technique for any drawing you want to sort of show off. You want to say, this is of my page, this is the best one, this is my favourite idea. So then we go around it in a little border. I often call these strokes because In the programs that I use at the Academy, we use a program called Photoshop, Adobe's Photoshop. And it's a great program, and when you want to put a border around it, you apply something called a stroke. Now, I believe that's their term for like a border, so that's what I refer to it as. You can see there now, can't you? If I zoom out a little bit, that's where your eye's drawn to that one with the border around it. I mean, of course, it's drawn to the arrows because they're bright orange. But another technique we can use, one of my favourites, in fact, is the offset rectangle. And what happens there is we draw out a rectangle that goes through the page like this, and then back up again like that, and then everything inside this then gets shaded in. So let's zoom in there so we can see. Now what this will do is it'll really pop, it'll give a background to our drawing and really allow the drawing to pop off the page. It's a really great technique for making your drawings really stand out, you know. So let's keep it in the same direction. Now you can see there that I'm getting a lot more colour on because I've tilted the pencil on its side. So actually more of the lead of the pencil crayon, more of the colour is actually hitting the page there. So very careful here to draw around the outside. That's the goal. I want it to pop. So there we go. And we'll go straight over the top of my scribbles. Little explanation as to how to shade properly, and then wham! Let's get that colour on. Beautiful. Okay, now we want to pay particular attention to these corners, these edges, because that's the goal, isn't it? We want to make this pop off the page. And if you wanted to make sure that there's little details in there, then this is the time to share that and show that off, and then boom. So again, very quickly, your eye's drawn to that rectangle. And there's just a couple of techniques that you can apply to make your designs more interactive. The last thing I would do on this is I would probably just label a couple of parts. So I'd probably label this bit and explain what that's doing. I'd label this design and I'd say what's special about this idea. I might, even if there's a feature down at the bottom, I might label that. This one I might label the fact that it's got that arch. I might also label the fact that this one now has got a rectangular head instead, and I might just label the fact that that one's got a space there for your thumb to grip into. But that's it. I wouldn't go too far. Maybe just one little explanation as to what's going off here. So this is my designs for two different versions on the side view for pattern ideas. There we go. Let's head back to home and finish the video. Okay, so what have we learned in today's session? Well, we've gone through a range of different graphic techniques for, again, showing off your ideas and making them pop off the page. Our challenge this week is to look at designing a new toothbrush. Now, I like your designs at home to be something new, unique and original, and I'm hoping to see some fantastic little designs there. Now, the goal is it's got to be really comfortable for your hand to sit in. And of course it's got to have a unique toothbrush head on there as well. Okay, so until next time, remember to subscribe so you don't miss another one of our videos. And remember to stay safe. Bye now.